Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is giving great news to the Republicans. We've seen a lot of good signs in recent months that they're going to do well in the midterm elections. The generic congressional ballot, the misery index, the simple fact that it's the first midterm of a new president, all of that points to good news for the party out of power. Yesterday, the GOP received a better omen than all of those others combined. Joe Rogan told his audience that he wants them to vote Republican.
No one who is alive today had ever experienced a true pandemic. And I'm hoping that now that this is over, people are going to, recognize that some serious errors were made and not repeat those. That's the best you can get out of it.
So what do you tell those people?
Vote Republican. That's what a lot of them are going to do anyway.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, more than 1 million people transferred over to the Republican Party, I think in 2021 alone. Find out what that number is. But, you look at guys like Ron DeSantis, who kept Florida open and had some pretty reasonable policies in terms of, like, what to do about COVID. And, he mapped it out on television. He was, widely criticized for this, where he was saying, like, we need to protect our elders. We need to, make sure that medical care is available for those people. And everyone else, you should be able to do whatever you want to do and protect your freedom.
Those 55 seconds from Joe Rogan are more important than any poli-sci nerd analysis, more important than 10,000 pages of data from every four-eyed pollster in America, because Joe Rogan is the generic voter. Joe Rogan speaks to and for more people than just about anyone else in America. As goes Joe Rogan, so goes the country. In many ways, after 18 months of record high inflation, of foreign policy disaster, of mass illegal migration, of a collapse in law and order, and a creeping sense that our institutions of government are being rigged and wielded by Democrats for their own personal gain, whether it's the FBI pressuring Facebook to censor the Hunter Biden laptop story, or whether it's the DOJ busting through Donald Trump's door at Mar-a-Lago. The American people right now are signaling in every way they can that they intend to vote the bums out. And yet, only one thing is certain. The more that the people express support for Republicans in November, the more the establishment will smear them all as a threat to democracy. There's a lot of oppression in the country, not just the oppression of the conservatives at the hands of the libs who changed the election rules. No. I'm talking about the oppression of celebrities and music stars at the Video Music Awards. I'm talking about the oppression of Lizzo, who, as she's accepting her award, she reminds everyone they need to go out and vote to stop all the oppression.
I don't know what music video for good means, but I do know what your vote means, and that's a lot. Your vote means everything to me. It means everything to making a change in this country. So remember, when you're voting for your favorite artist, vote to change some of these laws that are oppressing us.
Now, of course, Lizzo is probably the single least oppressed person on earth. Maybe she's oppressed by our decadent culture, but she's certainly not oppressed by any of the things that ordinarily would be considered oppressive. She has as many political rights as she wants. She has the abundance of material goods. She can do whatever she pleases. That's why Lizzo is not being detailed here. She's not saying what laws we should vote against. She's not even saying what candidates to vote against. She's not saying what is oppressing her. She's just saying, yeah, it's oppressive. You got to go vote. It's just the kind of most ridiculous conclusion of Puff Daddy's campaign from 2004, Vote or Die. Remember, he had that campaign, he said, vote or die, because they were trying to kick George Bush out of office. You say, I don't think those are the only two options. I don't think a consequence of not voting will be that we all die. I doubt that. It's just so vague. It's just these people being used as parrots for the entrenched powers, for the liberal establishment. A woman wearing a very fancy, expensive dress, holding a gold statue, saying, I'm so oppressed Be sure to go out and vote against the bad guys for the good guys because of the oppression. And it's not really persuasive anymore. If it ever was persuasive, which I don't think it was, don't forget Puff Daddy's vote or die thing did not work. But if it ever was persuasive, I just think advances in technology, so that now we're not just beholden to the main news networks, we can actually do research ourselves, that really dealt a tough blow to the establishment. Changes in power, the fact now that these libs who used to be on the fringes of power, who used to be able to somewhat credibly claim that they were fighting the man, now that they just dominate the entire establishment, the fact that whenever you see the resistance and BLM and the pride flag, it's always being pushed by gazillion-dollar corporations and institutions of the government. That, I think, has changed it. And the fact that these guys have lost the common sense, the fact that the libs push transing the kids and killing all the babies and opening up all of our borders and destroying our currency and locking us all down over the Wu flu, and the fact that they won't even close down gay bathhouses to stop monkeypox. I mean, just on issue after issue after issue, the libs have so lost the common sense that they lose the generic voter, okay? And they lose Joe Rogan, and they lose the people who represent the kind of open-minded middle in American politics. And no speeches from Lizzo are going to change that. I'm so glad you liked that clip. Now, you got to ring that bell. Subscribe. I know we hit 1 million subscribers. I want to hit 1 quintillion. I know it's ambitious. We can do it. Ring the bell. We'll see you next time.